Hello all you marsupial people of the internet, I hope you're all doing magnificently. Today we're going to be doing a basic service as well as fitting a catback exhaust to this Ford Everest. This video is also going to be translatable if you are a Ranger owner, as there's a lot, pretty much same car, just with a few subtle differences, but we'll go through that when we get to it. But let's just dig into it and we'll show you what we're doing. So this rig belongs to a very good customer of mine. He's had this thing only for about 5 months. He basically does a lot of touring, does a lot of towing with his caravan. The car itself has done 145,000 Ks, I believe. And when he first got it, he bought it from a dealership and they did do a basic service on it. And then he brought it to me and we went through and did a whole bunch of stuff service related on it. So we ended up doing a brake fluid flush, a coolant flush. We did all of the driveline oil, so front diff, transfer case, rear diff. We did an automatic transmission flush. We put new upgraded front brake pads in it. We went to a Bendix four-wheel drive pad. And we also did all the filters. So we did the cabin filter, the diesel fuel filter, and we also upgraded the air filter to a K&N air filter. So that was all done about 4,000 Ks ago. But now it's scheduled back for its next logbook service, which is just essentially going to be an engine oil and oil filter. So normally when I do a basic service on these, I do pull the air filter and the cabin filter out and give them a clean. But because it's only done 4,000 Ks, we're not going to worry about it. So we're just going to do an oil and oil filter change on this thing. This is the 3.2 litre turbo diesel. They also come in a 2 litre bi-turbo diesel. In my opinion, this is a better engine. But I'm sure a lot of people on the internet might disagree with that. So we're just going to hook in and get started. We're going to do the service side of things first, and then we're going to get going on the exhaust side of things. So for the service, we are using a Ryco oil filter. This is an R2720P, and we also use the Penrite EDS 05 5W30 engine oil. These things take about 9.7 litres. So if you get yourself a 10 litre and use almost all of it, you'll be sweet. So we've already gone through, we've done a light check, we've checked his wipers, we've had a physical look at the outer brake pads through the wheel, we've checked his tyre pressures, and we've changed his service sticker, and we've just gone through and topped up his washer bottle and just checked his other fluid levels as well. So all of that's already done. So let's hook into the service side of things. So when doing a service on one of these, whether you're doing it on a hoist or some car ramps or just on the ground, it's basically all going to be the similar theory. There are time restraints when doing oil and oil filter changes on these things, or particularly oil filter changes. If you let the oil drain too long, they do drain out the oil pump and drop oil pressure. Some people say 20 minutes, some people say 15 minutes. We aim for 10. But the trick for doing these is all about preparation. So the oil filter is in behind this cover. You might be able to see it hiding down in there. So what I do before I do anything is I go through and I take these 4 clips out and I drop that rubber cover down, and then I also go underneath the car and I pull this bash tray off. So I loosen these 2 bolts and remove these 2, and then that tray slides off. If you're doing this job on a Ranger, there was also a larger tray that mounts underneath there, which I like to take off as well, just because when you take the oil filter off, it does make a little bit of a mess. So we'll go through and get this removed, and we'll get this side cover off. Okie dokie, we have that stuff off and ready to go. We have that side panel dropped down, exposing the oil filter now. And we've got that under tray removed from underneath, which goes here. And now you can clearly see our oil drain sump plug. When I said earlier, there are some differences between Ranger and Everest. One thing worth noting is Everests have disc brakes on the rear wheels, whereas Rangers have drum brakes. If we were doing a service on a Ranger or any car that's got drum brake rear end, what we do as part of every service is we pull the wheels off, we pull the drums off, we clean and adjust the drums, clean out all the brake dust, check the shoes for wear, and we also check the wheel cylinders for leaks, and then we adjust up the shoes. Something that we do as part of every service. So basically on this thing though, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the oil filter. As I mentioned earlier, it likes to make a mess when you remove it. So we've got this silicone Ryco thing here that I jammed down the side of the oil filter, and that just helps direct oil into less crevasses. So let's hook into that. We are basically ready to go on the oil filter. I've got that tonguey thing in place, directing oil down to my oil drainer. Brake cleaner's ready to go. Oil filter tools are ready to go. Got a little bucket here to put the oil filter in. New oil filter's ready to go. And the reason why I start with the oil filter is just to buy you a little bit more time. But I aim for 10 to 12 minutes from the time you crack the oil filter loose to putting your oil back into it. So let's see how we go. It is currently 8:22 or 8:23 in the morning. So let's just hook in. Oil filter housing is cleaned, new O-ring, new filter. Now that can go back in. Sorry about the light, but oil filter's done. Now on to draining the oil. Pull the sun plug out, 13 mil. Alrighty, oil is draining. We will not be waiting for this to drain down till it's dripping essentially, again, because of the time restraint. We don't want it to let it drain too long. Just to try and get the extra 50 or 100 mil of oil out. When they run almost 10 litres of oil, it pretty much makes no difference. So we'll let that drain down till it's a trickle. We'll put in the sun plug back in with a new washer. The good thing about the Riker oil filters actually is they provide you with a new sun plug washer, so it saves you having to use one of your own. So we'll change that over, and once the oil is almost finished draining, we'll bang it back in. Rightio, we are now at a trickle, or pretty much a drip actually. New sun plug washer is on. We can bang that back in. We've been going 8 minutes so far. Sun plug's in, giving it a clean down. We're going to quickly throw that cover back on and then drop it down, put oil in it. All right, it's currently been 12 minutes and we're going in with fresh oil. Right, we've put in almost all of it. So now we will start it up and make sure everything is all good. If you've got oil pressure issues, it will come up within the first 5 seconds. You'll see an oil light come up. I also lied to you about the Ks. It's done 248, not 148. My apologies. But no oil light, we are all good. We'll let this thing run for about 10 or 20 seconds. We'll turn it off and check the oil level. And it looks like I've got the oil level spot on first attempt. Does happen every now and then. I should be a mechanic. Bit hard to see, but it's right on or just a tiny bit above the full mark. Perfect. So basically now service side of things is done. We can move on to the exhaust, but first I'm going to start it up and we'll do a sound check of how it sounds stock. With DPF cars, aftermarket exhausts tend to not make much difference when it comes to sound, but we'll do a sound recording now, which I will post at the end of this video so we can do comparisons before and after. Gentlemen, this is the exhaust we are going to be fitting. It's an Outback exhaust. I have used these a few times. They're pretty good quality. I'm pretty sure they're stainless steel but powder coated silver. And I'm pretty sure I told you at the start of this video that this is a DPF back exhaust, but it's not. It's actually a cat back exhaust. So I do apologize. My only thing that I don't like about these is these are advertised as a no muffler, no resonator system, which is true. It does look like there is a resonator in here, but that's not a resonator. If you look in the pipe, it's actually just pipe that's pumped up and then pumps back down. There's no resonating or muffling material inside that whatsoever. So that basically goes from here back. So we basically up here have our massive DPF that leads into a flex, that leads into the factory catalytic converter. And then we've got this massive center muffler. And then it goes up over the diff, and we do have a small resonator back here, and then the tailpipe. So, as I said at the start of the video, when you are running cars that still are running a DPF, and even more so when they're still running a factory cat, you can literally unbolt this from here and start the car up, and they're still pretty quiet. So this guy does want this thing, if possible, to have a little bit of sound, but doesn't want it drony. So we're going to get all this unbolted, compare it on the ground next to it. We'll fit that. We'll see how it sounds. If it's a little bit raspy or whatever, we will probably look at cutting out that little section and actually putting a proper hot dog in it. But first things first, let's get all this off. I've already sprayed it with WD-40 when we were draining the oil. So we've got the factory cat back off. As you can see in there, there is our catalytic converter. It looks pretty good actually. And then here is stock stuff compared to what's going on. So now it's just a matter of put that on there. So our new exhaust is on and looking all fly. Everything's all tight. Nice, quick, easy job. So we'll drop it down, see how it sounds, and find out if we need to change that. That's going to do us, guys. Old mate has had a listen, and because, as I said before, when you have a stock DPF and stock cat on a lot of turbo diesel cars, no matter what you do with the exhaust, they still sound pretty much standard. So as a result, he's happy for it to stay as it is. He's going to look at maybe doing something with a high-flow cat and a tune and down the track, but for now, good enough. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this, please remember to like and subscribe. And until I see you guys in the next video, as always, be good to yourselves and each other.